Spurs, one of the longer streaks that you didn't want, not being in the AP poll, but it's all over. Kentucky back in for the first time since the final one of the '84 season. Hey, how are you folks? Jason Horowitz, glad to be with you on the Toyota College Football Preview Show. The number 21 Wildcats off the heels of their first victory against a top 10 team in 30 years. That's when they topped Louisville last week. They put that ranking on the line against an angry Arkansas team, which lost a very tough game in Tuscaloosa last week. And with more, we bring in Spencer Tillman from Houston, as we do every week. And Spencer, Andre Woodson, it was a national secret before last season, certainly not talked about enough before this one. But we're seeing one of the best streaks in SEC history and maybe NCAA history by a quarterback.
Yeah, well, he's 14 passes completions away from topping Trent Dilfer for the consecutive record without an interception in pass department. So I think that that's prolific, and that's something to take a look at. And I think you've hit on something, Jason. That's really the key to their offensive success. When you don't turn the ball over, and doesn't matter if we're talking at the professional level or the collegiate level, you have a better chance to win. It's one of those statistics that has the correlation between wins and losses more than any other statistic that you can look at. That turnover ratio is very, very important. And this quarterback, Andre Woodson, does not turn the football over.
And you bring that up every week about turnover ratio to wins and losses, and we'll see how that plays out this weekend. But, you know, everyone knows he's leading an offense that's spectacular, but it's in this situation in every game that this team is going to play, it's the defense to worry about. And I think that's the case with Arkansas as well. Which team do you think is better equipped to stop what the other one does best? Meaning, is Kentucky okay to stop Arkansas's running attack? And can Arkansas slow down Kentucky's passing game?
Well, as we saw last week, that it's going to be difficult, no matter who you are on the other side, unless you're maybe the New England Patriots, it's going to be difficult to try to stop this very prolific Arkansas offense. And with Felix Jones and Darren McFadden in the same backfield, you're going to be spread out. So one of the things you've got to do defensively is to be sound with your tackling. And I think for the most part, Alabama handled that aspect of what that wild hog and the Wildcat formations presented. It was really in the passing department and some of that downhill straight at you stuff that they had problems with. But in terms of your question, I think probably Kentucky, because of Rich Brooks, is probably more suited to have a more fundamentally sound defensive outcome than the opposition this week anyway.
Well, let's talk about Houston Nutt then on the reverse side of that, because he's got to regather the troops here after that tough loss in Alabama, and now he's got to get his offense geared up because they know they're going to have to score points with this Kentucky team. What does he do with McFadden, with Felix Jones, to maybe keep that Kentucky offense off the field, much like you try and do against Indianapolis and Peyton Manning?
Well, the first thing you got to do coming off a loss, you can't get too fancy. They already got this kind of wild, crazy system in place with two unique formations, the Wildcat and the Wild Hog formation. So it's nothing different. If I were looking at the game tape, if I were Houston Nutt, I'd go back to say what was successful against Alabama. And it was when they lined up in the old-fashioned power I offset formation and just ran the ball right downhill at Alabama. That's when they had their most success. And I think what that's going to do is open up the passing potential if Casey Dick, their quarterback, can make some things happen. Now, every time he threw the ball last week, I held my breath because he's not one of the most accurate quarterbacks that's out there. But I really believe, kind of like Matthew Stafford with Georgia, Casey Dick for Arkansas is going to have to win a game with one or two key passes in mission-critical situations to come away with the win.
And again this week, he may have to do that without Marcus Monk. All right, Spencer, give me your winner in this ballgame.
Well, I like Arkansas a lot. I like Houston Nutt because he can motivate players extremely well. But Rich Brooks, it's one of the great stories right now, reclamation projects in all of college football. I've got to go with them. Even though the game is in Vietnam, I think that Kentucky will come away with a win, at least by a touchdown.
And a big shootout as well, right?
You bet. Big-time scoring affair.
All right, thanks a lot, Spence. We will see you on the College Football Today on Saturday.
All right then, Jason. We'll see you, my man.
All right, folks, we talked about it. Expect a shootout. Why not? The last time these two teams met, that was in 2003. Arkansas won 71-63 in a record 7 overtimes. And, of course, the other 7 overtime game also involved the Razorbacks. The two kick it off at Razorback Stadium at 6 p.m. Eastern. And for more on this game or any other in Week 4 of the college football season, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. For Spencer Tillman, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care.